Hi, my name is Fatima Ventura, and I chose to do my presentation on plastic degradation and how it breaks down in our oceans. I live in Los Angeles, and going to the beach has always been on my list of most frequent activities. As years passed by, I started to notice the increase of trash collecting along the beaches, which obviously contributes to the worsening water quality. So for my project, I want to look at how plastic polymers become degraded in our oceans and what that means for the environmental effects. What are plastics made of? Plastics are made of many monomers that join to form polymers. Polymers are long chains of monomers. Below is the polymerization of polyethylene. Polymerization is an exothermic reaction, therefore it releases heat. The degradation of polymers includes the different changes that occur in the structure and physical properties of polymers and polymer-based products that cause the loss of properties such as tensile strength, shape, and color as a result of environmental factors. In this case, we will be covering plastic polymers that break down or don't when introduced to our oceans. Some common plastics we all probably know would be polyethylene, as I previously mentioned. PE for short is the most produced type of plastic in the world, and we use it for everything ranging from the plastic bags we use at the grocery store to even bulletproof vests, which I'm not sure if many of us have used, but PE can be used in a variety of products since there are different levels of its density that changes the use and function of it. PE usually has a number 2 on it, and you could tell it's PE because it has the word PE on of recyclable plastics. Here's a picture of some of the topics I'll be talking about, such as photodegradation and mechanical stress. So, what is photodegradation? It refers to the chemical breakdown or degradation of a substance caused by exposure to light. This process typically involves the absorption of light energy by the substance. It alone is unlikely to fully degrade most plastic waste. Other processes such as hydrolysis play a more increased role. The exact mechanisms of photodegradation depends on the type of plastic polymer, as different polymers have different chemical structures and are therefore more or less susceptible to UV and degradation. Some factors would include intensity and wavelength of the UV radiation, the presence of oxygen or other reactive species, temperature and humidity of the environment. Also, polymers containing carbon-carbon double bonds such as polyethylene are particularly susceptible to UV-induced degradation. To touch on the temperature and humidity of the environment, a study was done where they found that in polyethylene, increasing humidity leads to a general increase in CO2 evolution rate and a faster transition into a secondary degradation rate. This means that humidity aids photodegradation as mentioned. Temperature increase is relative to the speed of degradation because of reaction kinetics. This is the rate of reactions with influential factors. Overall, it is one of the several processes by which plastic polymers can break down, and it is an important factor in the degradation of plastic waste in the environment. The UV impacts on plastic. Have you wondered why plastic materials get that yellow tint after a while? Well, plastic yellowing is actually a sign of photodegradation. Photodegradation leads to the formation of free radicals from breaking apart polymer chains. A free radical is an atom or molecule containing one or more unpaired electrons in valence shell or outer orbit and is capable of independent existence. These free radicals can then react with oxygen in the air to form peroxy radicals, which can further react with the polymer chains to break them down into smaller fragments. Peroxy radicals are formed by reactions of molecular oxygen with carbon-centered radicals. This is the result of propagation, and peroxy radicals leads to cause the polymer to degrade. Too many free radicals without enough antioxidants is a problem because they can be harmful for cellular damage down to the DNA structures. Oxidative stress is related to disease development. Plastic polymers can break down in water or salt through a process I've previously mentioned, hydrolysis, which involves the reaction of water molecules with chemical bonds and polymer chains. The water molecules break the polymer chains into smaller fragments called oligomers, which are more susceptible to further degradation. Oligomers are molecules made up of few repeating units derived from smaller monomers. Well, what kind of reaction is hydrolysis? It's a double decomposition reaction, meaning cations and anions of two compounds switch places. The water molecule splits into a positive hydrogen and OH ions, which then cause breakage between the polymers. However, not all plastics are equally susceptible to hydrolysis. For example, the plastic we've been talking about, polyethylene, PE, is relatively resistant to hydrolysis. PE comes from ethylene monomers, and ethylene is an organic chemical which is produced by heating ethane, petroleum, or derived from plant hormones, most likely petroleum. Other factors include plastic polymers breaking down through mechanical stress. Mechanical stress includes agitation or grinding. This can lead to serious environmental problems as plastic waste can persist in water bodies for many years and cause harm to wildlife in the ocean. This is actually how microplastics accumulate in our trash piles because of the breakage of them through molecular weight decrease. It makes them more brittle. The plastics increase lower ductility. This means that degraded plastics break into smaller pieces, hence why we have such a huge problem with microplastics. And ductility is the quality of the plastic and how it's able to resist deformation under tensile stress, such as what I said earlier, agitation or grinding. So, to conclude, the two main ways that plastic degrades in our ocean would be hydrolysis and photodegradation. I hope that we have all learned to take care of our environment because we all share the same planet. It doesn't matter whose trash it is, if it's yours, if it's somebody you don't know, your friends. Just clean up after yourselves.